Welcome back. This is Trans Guys Reacts. My name is Nick, and I do video coverage of women's basketball in all facets. Today, I want to talk about the coaching updates in the NCAA. It's been a very interesting and tumultuous time in terms of people being fired, let go, whatever, relieved of their duties, whatever you want to say it, or just leaving. Period. So the ones that I want to talk about. Right off the bat is Kelly Harper being let go from the Tennessee Lady Vols. Very, very ruthless. I feel, but not kind of surprising considering their history here. So kind of ruthless to let her go in 5 seasons because they weren't dominating like Pat Summitt, right? So that's kind of the biggest reason why they let her go. And also, I heard that she didn't bring in any new freshmen into the recruiting class, so that's kind of like shocking. Like she wasn't able to pull any freshmen into the recruiting class. I mean, I just the you can't. I mean, it's kind of hard to defend that. I'm sure she could have got some people in the transfer portal, but it's just like you didn't pull in any freshmen. But Pat Summitt is a high bar to meet. But I'm not surprised, like I said, because of how they treated Holly Warlick. So Holly Warlick was pretty much treated the same, and in fact, her Holly Warlick's better record was better than Harper's, than Kelly Harper's, and they still let her go because she failed to get past the first and second round 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row, they were only like first round, second round in the NCAA tournament, and apparently that's embarrassing. But people from the get go, I feel, were disrespectful to Warlick because she wasn't dominating. In the beginning, there was a little bit of domination, but then as years went by, they became just like kind of just a really good basketball team, not the top tier basketball team. They're just like very good, and three the idea that like you have to be like Pat Summitt. Like no one will be Pat Summitt. Like no one can be that. Like she was one of a kind, and trying to live up to that history is kind of messed up. But it all culminated in them losing so much, and then Avina Westbrook's comments, at the end of that last season for Holly Warlick, they were really inappropriate, and she had the nerve. What she said was inappropriate and just really disrespectful, and it's kind of crazy that she had the nerve to be upset when she had to redshirt when she transferred to UConn. It was like, girl, that is the rules. One, the rules are you had to redshirt at the time when you transferred. Two, what you said was so inappropriate and disrespectful that there had to be a message sent from the NCAA to be like, no, you don't get any special treatment. You're not gonna get a waiver to like because of the circumstances. There's no reason. You didn't play well. You disrespected your coach, and you said so to reporters on live TV. So no, you will be made an example of, and she was, but I don't know what was going on in the locker room. Obviously, the team did not respect her as a coach, even though her record was amazing. Warlick only had one losing conference season. One losing conference season, and then she had one more that was like even. So she had 2 years that were like maybe, but she never had a losing record overall. Never had a losing record. She left with a .720 record in 7 years. She was 172 and 67. That was her record. And she also had a couple conference regular season wins and a championship win in her conference. A couple of them actually. So her record was like, if you compare it to any other college basketball coach, you'd be like, oh my god, why would someone fire her? That's amazing. But compared to Pat, oh no, that we're slipping. We're not doing well. So they let her go. They hire another blonde, who was an alum, Kelly Harper, and Kelly comes in, and her record in 5 years is .675. Okay, so yes, it's 2 years less, but it is not as good of a winning percentage as Holly Warlick's was. She did, to give her credit, to give Harper credit, she didn't have any losing seasons. Her record was 108 and 52. But they couldn't get out of the second round, and she had no conference wins. At least Warlick had conference wins and championship, like the regular season and championship wins. But Harper had no conference wins, so that was like, it didn't help her. And the standard, of course, is just really high, and it's crazy too because when she got let go, she was let go on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, and people were like, "Is this a joke?" And it's like, no, it's not a joke. That was strategic because Tennessee had a clause in their contract that if she was let go on April 1st, she would only receive 50% of her payout. So they just wanted to save money. That's what that was. So it's really petty. So they didn't want to pay her full $1 million, $2 million. So she's only getting like $500,000 as her payout since she's getting fired without cause. So that's just a business situation, but petty, very petty. Is the standard too high at Tennessee? Absolutely, way too high. And now they're gonna have to have a really hard trouble, getting someone to come to that school to be the coach when they made it very clear that the standard is way up here. It is way the fuck up here. We want to be back in the trenches with UConn. We want to be back in the trenches with Stanford and South Carolina, and it's like that takes time, that takes effort to build, so like I don't see that really happening right away, and it's going to be a struggle for the next coach who takes on this position. Tennessee has their standards are way too high, and I'm happy to see Holly Warlick back calling. She's an analyst now, she's calling games, and hopefully be more respected as a person, as a coach, for her basketball IQ. But fuck them, fuck those people, fuck Tennessee, sorry. It's just shown that if you can't be the creme de la creme, they don't care about you, which is crazy. Anywho, moving on, we have, I want to talk about Kyra Elzy being fired from University of Kentucky. She took over at Kentucky in 2020 after Matthew Mitchell resigned. Matthew Mitchell had that jet black hair. He was dying, and it was like slick back. It was so slick. You got to look up Matthew Mitchell and his hairstyles. Like, whoa, whoa. Crazy thing is, she was previously the associate head coach, so she'd been assistant coach, associate head coach for the school for quite a long time. But she was only given 4 years, and I have to say, is 4 years enough time to really, figure things out? It takes time to recruit, to pull, a full team together. I know she had back-to-back losing seasons, and she didn't make the tournament, so it's a lot of high pressure. But when she first came in, the first 2 years, she won the first SEC conference tournament championship since 1982. This black woman came in here in the first few years, and in over 30 years, in 2 years, and over 30 years, actually won the SEC conference tournament championship. And then she has 2 back-to-back seasons that were not amazing. And then they're like, we're done with you, girl. We're done. You're not delivering. And I have to say, that's very telling of if you're a black woman, the standards are so freaking high. You could be doing the most, but as soon as you start to fumble a little bit, no grace whatsoever. You're out of here. Let's get someone else. So Matthew Mitchell was with the team for a really long time, and he wasn't always successful himself. So it's just kind of crazy that they're just we only gonna give you 4 years, and sorry, deuces, whatever. Let me move on. So what happens with that is Kenny Brooks from Virginia Tech leaves and goes to University of Kentucky. There were reports of him interviewing that surfaced. He denied it because he was like, I'm focusing on my team, but it was really obviously he was interviewing. And then as soon as they lost in the tournament, the second round, Virginia Tech, they lost, he declared that he was going to UK. So that's exciting. I'm fine with this. He deserves the money that he's going to get. He is a proven winner. It'll be interesting to see him coach on the SEC side. It's a lot different than the ACC. So, I didn't realize he was the coach at James Madison University, and Ty Young, played under him, and she was amazing in the WNBA. So I forgot that he has a record of being a really good coach and developing players. So really excited to see what he does at UK. Moving on to Megan Duffy. So less than a week after Kenny Brooks left, they found a replacement in Megan Duffy. So she'll be the new Virginia Tech coach. She is the former Marquette coach. So she was the Big East Conference. She's part of the Big East, and it's a conference. They're Power 6 conferences, soon to be Power 5 because of the demise of the Pac-12. But honestly, in terms of the pack, the powers, they're kind of at the bottom. The Big East is at the bottom. I don't really think about the Big East, to be honest. I don't really care about them. Sorry, there's not that many teams that are interesting. So, but she is a really good coach. She's taken Marquette to the tourney quite a few times. She has several 20-plus win seasons. So she is proven. She is a proven coach. So we'll see what she does with VT. They gave her a 6-year contract, so we'll see what, giving her plenty of time to like develop and see where things go. I do appreciate that she is a woman, for one. She's also a Notre Dame alum. So she was under Muffet McGraw when they had a good record. So I love that she's coming back to the ACC where she belongs, like so yeah. Really excited for her tenure here. Also, she was drafted into the WNBA and she played with the Lynx and she also played with the Liberty. So she has pro experience, she has overseas experience, she's been on winning teams. So I think it's gonna be good. The question is, who's gonna be replacing her at Marquette? So all of these people are moving around, so it's kind of interesting. See what happens with that. Who replaces her? Replacing this person? Replacing this person? Yada yada yada. Now let's move on to Miami. So Trisha Cullop, I think is her name. She was the Toledo head coach for 16 years, and now she's going to replace retired Katie Meyer. And, Katie Meyer was the Miami coach for 19 years. She recently retired, and now she's going to do more like ambassador work and like fundraising and things like that for women's sports. I honestly don't have much to say about Tracy Cullop. I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do. I don't know much about her. I don't really watch Toledo, so we'll see what happens. I do want to end this conversation about these coaches with sorry about that. I do want to end this conversation with these coaches around Quentin Hillsman. So Coach Yo from Ole Miss hired Quentin Hillsman as her assistant coach, I think, or associate coach, something like that. This is 3 years after he resigned from Syracuse over bullying allegations, and I saw those bullying allegations, and it was crazy. Like, he's an incredibly inappropriate coach. And I'm very suspicious. And I heard that the reason why Coach Yo even hired him is because they're friends. Like, not taking into account the reason why he left Syracuse. So that's a little problematic. Sometimes Coach Yo gives me, the way that she be looking, the way she be like talking and stuff, she gives me a little bit of like bipolar, to be honest. Is that mean to say? But some of the things that she does is just like, ooh, I don't know. So I'm not surprised by like her making decisions that are like questionable. And she says things that are like sometimes out of pocket and questionable. So like whatever, it's what she can say whatever she wants. She can hire whoever she wants. I think it's a bad idea. I do remember this. I just remember watching him, and I don't really like his demeanor on the court. I remember how he acted when Tiana Managahia had that eye injury, and the way that he acted when she came over, he was just like, just didn't seem to care that much. And it's kind of interesting because she has really positive things to say about him, but she was also his star player, so I'm sure really he was really nice to her compared to everybody else. But there were so many accounts of how fucking gross and bullying he was towards his players and how he talked to them with such disrespect that it's just hard for me to say anything positive about him. Yeah, I don't know. Also, I didn't realize Camila Cardoso actually was on his team. She transferred in her freshman year because she was like, clearly didn't want to be on the Syracuse team, wasn't working for her. And then about 11 or 12 players transferred in total out of his program. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being petty, but I just didn't trust his body language. I also don't trust his fashion sense. I think his fashion is terrible. And am I wrong to say this? He seems to be hiding something. I don't know. Like, he just comes off as someone who is hiding something. Maybe he's wearing a beard. Maybe he's wearing a merkin. Whatever. I don't know. Queers, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say those words. Just something about him is giving me all the bad vibes, and I do not like that he's coming back to women's sports. But it is what it is. He's coming back, and we'll just have to deal with it. I might not be cheering as much for Coach Yo and Ole Miss because of that. Like, who you surround yourself with matters to me, and who you choose to support and rock with, that makes a difference. So, kind of taints things. So, oh well, Ole Miss. Oh well. Anywho, That is my updates about the coaching situation. I'm sure there'll be more. There'll probably be more movement going on, maybe a few more layoffs. Who knows? If there is more updates, I will definitely let people know. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye. Hey, welcome back. I have to do an add-on to this video because I didn't notice that Tennessee had already hired someone to replace Kelly Harper. Wow, I didn't see it this morning, so shame on me, whatever. But they select um, uh, Kim Caldwell, and I guess she used to coach Marshall. Um, I don't know much about her. I'm looking at this press release. Uh, I don't follow the conference that she was coming from. I don't follow Marshall, so I don't really know much about it, the Sun Belt Conference. But she's a really good coach apparently, and she's been winning a lot, so that's great and good for them. And yeah, they got another coach. They got it backfilled. So we'll see what happens with Tennessee. Like I said, the expectations are very high with Tennessee, so I am kind of curious how much time they're gonna give her. I don't think I read how many, like what the offer was. I don't know if they gave her a couple years. My suspicion is they gave her like 3 years, and we'll see what happens. And if she can have the same success she had at Marshall, maybe we'll see. I'm assuming her recruiting ability is much better, and she's gonna have some people transfer because she's leaving Marshall as well. So probably bring over some really interesting players. But time will tell. We'll see. Check it out when it happens, I guess. We will see.